Hello, it's Peter Merrick, and we're in La Jolla, California, and I need to share this with you. It's so important. It's about legacy. It's about how we might not know the impact we have on other people, on the environment, and on society. But what is most important is you have to commit to do the best you possibly can. And I take this lesson from Moby Dick. Do you know about the author, Herman Melville? I don't know if you remember Moby Dick, but most of you probably read it or watched the movie in high school. It's about Ahab, the captain of a whaling ship who's chasing a whale, a great white whale that ate his leg off in a previous voyage, and he's obsessed with Moby Dick. And it is an incredible book. It's powerful and it represents America, and more importantly, if you drink coffee, the first mate in Moby Dick, if you've read it, you'll know is Starbucks. But let me share with you the story about Herman Melville, because the lesson to Moby Dick that we can take are even more powerful. And I truly believe that, more powerful than the book itself. So let me tell you about Melville, Herman Melville. He wrote two successful books in the 40s, the 1840s, not the 1940s, the 1840s. And then he had this passion to write a book that would be a powerful metaphor for America, for the melting pot, for taking your destiny and moving towards it, and what being completely obsessed with your destiny, let's say if you run a business, what it could also do to you, how it could destroy you and all the people in your life. Well, Melville published his book in 1851. There were 3,700 copies in the first run. And there was only one run. Why? Because the book only sold 571 copies. That's it. Now, Herman Melville had put his heart into writing Moby Dick. It completely crushed him. He knew that he left everything on the field. Do you leave everything on the field? Do you approach everything that you do as this is going to be the last thing you ever do? That it is the most important thing that you do? Well, Herman Melville was so crushed, he never wrote again. So the book was published in 1851, and he dies 40 years later in 1891. No fanfare. He was really not recognized as a great writer while he was alive. Another 32 years passes. It is 1923. D.H. Lawrence, he is the #1 writer in the world. The most read writer in the world. His prose are beautiful. And he comes out with a book which critiques the great American novels. And you know who owned one of those 571 books? D.H. Lawrence. And in his critique, he said that the greatest American novel ever written that represents America, the greatest piece of literature ever to come out of the 13 colonies, the United States of America, was written by a gentleman in 1851. Come on, you know who it is. Herman Melville. And that thesis, that opus, that novel, that is the greatest book, that the greatest writer at the time in the 1920s states is the best novel and explains why, is Moby Dick. Think about that. The book was written in 1851. Melville dies in 1891. D.H. Lawrence did not publish his critique until 1923. So after the book was written, It was 72 years until it was recognized, and it became the book that we all know and we all love. And it was 32 years after Melville had died. So why do I take such a lesson from the story of Herman Melville? And I did this in my book, The King of Main Street. I know I'm shameless. I talked about Melville because I gave myself a message. The message was, I'm going to do the best that I can do. Just like you have to ask yourself, have you done the best that you can do? Have you left everything on the field? Because I know I left everything on the field. I took 30 years of research and I turned all my textbook writing and all my technical writing into a narrative based on the hero's journey. And I drew inspiration from Melville because the lesson I took from him, I don't know if he was crushed because his book never took off while he was alive. But I know one thing. He left everything on the field, and someone long after him benefited from it. Millions of people benefited from Melville. So remember what legacy is. Legacy is you planting a tree and you might never see it blossom. Did you know olive trees, when they're planted, they take 80 years before they produce olives? That means the person planting it understands that they will never see the fruits from what they did. Think about that. So you have to remember, whatever you do, it might not have success directly for you, but we are a product of the people who came before us, and we are responsible to help those who will come after us. And we're just about to enter the biggest wealth transfer in human history. After World War II was the largest cohort of any group ever born up until that time, and it was the baby boom. It happened in Europe, it happened in China, it happened in Japan, it happened in America, it happened in Canada, it happened in Australia. These individuals who make up the baby boom are about to retire, to transition en masse. And they will be the wealthiest and the most educated population ever to walk the earth. And there's a huge opportunity, if you're a part of this generation, that you can share your legacy. And remember, it doesn't matter if what you do is seen by the public. Know that what you're doing is more importantly for you to get that peace, knowing that you added to the human story. You guys have been great. So if you like this video, please press like, please share, make a comment, and follow. I look forward to continuing this journey, and what you do will have a great impact on those that you don't even know. That makes everything important, and nothing is trivial. Have a great evening, and I look forward to chatting with you again.